Hello everyone, Ryan here. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. It took me a while to get through this, but I'm glad I did because at certain points I wanted to just toss it aside. Of course, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically about this main character, or rather main protagonist, Rachel, who is struggling to deal with a lot of different things in her life. Most notably, the fact that her ex-husband, left her for another woman, a younger woman, married that other woman, and then settled down and had a kid with that other woman. So, pretty much throughout the first half of the story, she struggles to deal with that and accept that. And then she also struggles with her own alcoholism. One thing I didn't like is that the first half, for me, it seemed like it just tended to focus a little too much on her alcoholism. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I can understand like the author wanting to, what's the word? Develop the character as soon as possible. But yeah, for me, it just seemed like there was too many parts where it just kept going back to Rachel and dealing with her alcoholism back and forth. I really didn't feel like that was pivotal to the story, because ultimately what happens is there's this train that Rachel takes every day to and from work, and it passes by this area where this other couple, not necessarily her ex-husband, but this other couple, she sees them having breakfast in their yard or somewhere close to their yard, and she ends up wishing that she still had that. She ends up wishing and pining for that same kind of, I guess, intimate connection that she used to have with her ex-husband. Ultimately, I guess she just ends up wanting to have some kind of a semblance of happiness. So, and then because also too, at the same time, every time she sees this couple, she's also reminded of her own problems, her own issues, and so pretty much that's how the first half of the story is. I did kind of like that it ends up shifting perspectives. It goes back and forth. When it first happened, it took me a while to realize that it was changing perspectives, points of views rather, because it goes from Rachel's perspective to another woman named Anna, and then another one named Megan. Megan is the one who ultimately gets murdered. People try to figure out who it was that murdered her. Rachel herself becomes very interested in trying to find out who murdered her. Initially, because Megan is the woman who, the wife, or rather, who's part of that young couple that she would always see while on the train, while she would go to work in the mornings. So yeah, I mean, I definitely like the mystery aspect of it. I like that it kind of forced my brain to figure it out. Well, towards the second half of the book, that's when I started to really think about, well, maybe I started to think to myself, maybe she killed her, or maybe he killed her, or maybe it was like more than one person, or maybe it was like some kind of inside job, or like maybe it was faked, like she faked her own death or something. Which, by the way, that's not a spoiler. Like the fact that Megan gets murdered. It's a big part of the story. I will say that eventually I did kind of figure out, like before the last 5 chapters or so, even though it's not really divided into chapters, more like dates, but I still call them chapters. I don't know if you can see right there. It's divided into chapters, and then also too, to let you know that it's changed perspective. it'll have the name of each character at the beginning. So like there's Anna. Same thing with Rachel, and Megan. But yeah, what was I saying? So I mean, it's not divided into chapters. I forgot what I was saying. Again, I like the mystery aspect of it. Oh yeah, because I was able to figure out who the murderer was for the last 5 chapters or so. But at the same time, I was also pretty surprised too, because I wasn't really expecting it. I like those kinds of stories, those kinds of mysteries, where like you're not really expecting a certain character to be the culprit. So, yeah, that was definitely interesting. Ultimately, I did give it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I don't believe I would actually reread this ever. I don't know. I am kind of somewhat looking forward to watching the movie, because I feel like maybe the movie will kind of like, well, I mean, yeah, usually the movie adaptations, they leave out a lot of details and they end up condensing certain stuff. Because I feel like this book could have been edited down to like no more than 200 or so pages, and it still would have been just as interesting and still would have been a pretty decent read. So, but I don't know, that's just my opinion. Let me know if you read this too, what your thoughts are on it as well. And yeah, that'll do it for my review of The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you feel up to it. And as always, till next time, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.